recorded live at 4ZZZ Studios, Meanjin, Brisbane.
On 102.1 FM.
And broadcast across Australia on the Community Radio Network.
You're listening to Zed Games.
Zed Games brings you the best in gaming news, reviews, community and culture. Want to reach out?
Share your hot take?
Or do you just want to share your favourite game?
Find us on socials at Zed Games AU.
Hello. You're listening to Zed Games. My name is Zahra, and with me in the studio this episode is
Caroline
and
Peter
and
Natalia.
Woo! We've got a full studio, and I am absolutely full of bees, beans, and zest. I'm so excited for the episode today.
That is a lot of things to be full of.
You should get that checked out, I think.
At least one of those probably needs a clinical test.
Okay.
What sort of zest? Lemon zest?
Yeah, lemon zest. Maybe a little bit of lime zest in there
you're
as
fine
well.
then.
You're a little bit
questioning
fruity.
which type of
Yes.
So many questions.
We're keeping it fresh. We're keeping it funky. We're keeping it zesty. How? We all know what I'm full of. What about the rest of you? How are you all doing?
I'm full of a warm inner glow.
Oh,
That's right.
We'll be talking about why
We
you're
will be.
experiencing a warm inner glow.
I am
How about you, Peter?
hesitantly excited about a few games coming up that have recently been announced.
Hesitantly excited.
I've been burned in the past, so I'm just like, I want to be excited, but I am holding back on purpose.
It's okay, Peter.
Yes.
One day there's going to be a game that just opens your heart.
I know. and it happened in 1998.
And how about you, Caroline?
I'm full of education
You're
because
full of education?
I just graduated and now I have so much time for video games.
Yay! I think you're the most educated person here at the moment.
In this room, maybe?
Yes.
2 degrees and...
Unless, Peter, how many degrees do you have?
Only the 1 degree.
Only the one.
Plenty of
okay.
wisdom, but only 1 degree.
I'm warmer than you now.
Indeed.
Wow.
Wow.
We've actually got a lot packed for this episode, and I'm so excited about it.
Yeah.
And we've got what's going on over here? Is it the weekend gaming news?
Wow. It might be.
This is a win.
Been some news announced this week.
News.
Caroline.
This week in gaming news, 1UP is back.
Woo!
1UP, the retro gaming arcade based in Morningside that closed earlier this year, has reopened in Wollongabba, partnering with Laser Force. 1UP calls itself Australia's largest retro arcade with a passionate community of older arcade games. They have over 200 arcade games, all of them in free play mode, requiring no tokens.
That is heaven.
It is.
I'm
heaven.
so
It's awesome.
excited.
I'm going to get myself over there at some point.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do it just in case.
It's actually a little bit closer now, I think. Which is it? I don't know.
Yeah, Wollongabba.
Oh, in
closer than
Wollongabba, yeah.
Morningside. Yeah.
That's awesome. All right.
A little bit closer.
Alteen, to plan. But what else is going on, Peter?
Next up, Nintendo's had another showcase. So Nintendo Direct Partner Showcase has aired in the last week, coming with a few announcements. Highlights from the Direct Partner Showcase: Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment had a new gameplay trailer showing off some of ties to Tears of the Kingdom. Monster Hunter Stories 3 Twisted Reflection was announced, with the player being a Rathlos rider facing an environmental calamity.
Sick.
Octopath Traveler 0 is a prequel story coming to the Switch 2. Hella has you play as an adorable mouse with a frog backpack. That one is fantastic.
Yes.
Plants vs. Zombies Replanted is a HD version of the tower defense game.
Perfect game.
Once Upon a Katamari introduces an accidentally destroyed Earth. The stars have vanished and you'll need to restore the night sky. And more. The Indie World Showcase for Brisbane will be live at 11 PM on the 7th of August for those based in Brisbane. And there's some hope for Hollow Knight Silksong fans as well. There will be a link to the live stream on zgames.net.
Silksong, please?
Yes.
There's going to be a demo at Gamescom next month.
Oh, there's going to be so much
I'll
stuff at
believe it
Gamescom.
when I actually see it.
Yeah.
Everyone's been fed crumbs so far, and I'm just...
Gamescom is the new E3, so
True.
rumour mills abound.
Banned Exhumed. Vile Exhumed, a horror game about parasocial obsession and misogyny, is yet another game that has been affected by Steam's removal of games containing adult content. Not due to its use of gore or the heavy themes present in it, and there are very heavy themes in there, but for sexual content with depictions of real people, despite there being no uncensored nudity, no depictions of sex acts, and no pornography present in the game. The developer Final Girl Games is now giving the game away for free as shareware to circumvent payment processes entirely. There is also an option to financially support the developer with 50% of proceeds going towards Red Door Family Shelter, a charity that focuses on helping families, refugees, and women escaping violence in Toronto.
Good on them.
And now some news nibbles.
Yum, 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 yum. Umbrella is the leading independent film distributor in Australia, I think, has launched Umbrella Gaming, which is a division dedicated to supporting and releasing independent games across Australia and New Zealand, with their first acquisition being Pro Jank Footy, which is an absurd Australian rules-inspired game. I love
not
Umbrella.
Just normal Australian
Incredible.
rules?
No.
Okay,
It's
right.
janky.
I thought that was just pro jank. Normally.
It is. It's got a good sense of humour to it.
No, I love them as film distributors, so I'm excited to see what they do.
Yeah.
Next up, RTA in Japan, which is the country's largest speedrunning event, will not be utilizing any Nintendo-owned titles for their summer event. This is allegedly due to Nintendo reaching out in July to state that, quote, that as a legal entity, they would have to ask for permission in advance for any games they'd like to feature, and that all previous instances of their games being streamed constitutes as unauthorized use.
Nintendo being Nintendo?
Yeah, their lawyers had a
Who would have thought?
Nintendo not wanting people to play their games?
no, or free advertising.
Yeah, no.
Speaking of, Nintendo has bumped all of the prices of the Nintendo Switch, including of the original Nintendo Switch and the OLED, and all of its accessories for the USA because of USA reasons. There might be a potential price increase on the way for the Switch 2, but for now, that console has been unaffected.
Yeah. For now.
For now, which
For
is
now.
expected, I think.
Yeah. Now for some upcoming games. August 7th, that's today, brings 1,000 Deaths for the PC, Graduous Origins for the PS5, Xbox Series X and X, Switch and PC, Hidden Memories of the Gardens Between for the Quest and PC VR, The House of the Dead 2 Remake for the Switch and PC, Wildwood Down for the PC. Caroline, what comes out on August 8th?
Well, I had another tab open because I was looking for Vile Exhumed. August 8, we have Battle Mythic Maidens Arena for PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, and PC. Mafia: The Old Country for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. And Slackjaw for PC.
And 11th?
Coming up on August 11th, we have Firefly Village for the PC. And August 12th, Echoes of the End for PS5, Xbox Series X and S, PC as well. Fallen City Brawl for the PC, and Shields of Loyalty for the PC. And finally, on August 13th, Fractured Core for PC on my birthday. And Echo Show Holiday. And all of the other things that August 13th is.
Well, there you go.
The
That's your
National Day of
plans now.
Flu.
Yeah, I avoid people.
Yeah.
But that's not all. There is something popping off this weekend on Saturday the 30th and Sunday the 31st. Go Play is a free tabletop role-playing convention held in Brisbane each year with 2 days of board games and TTRPGs for you to enjoy. This year's Go Play is taking place on Saturday the 30th and Sunday the 31st of August in The Edge at the State Library of Queensland. The best part? It's free. Never
Yeah.
played a TTRPG before? Don't stress. Go Play is supportive and welcoming, so it's the perfect place to learn. Folks, they are sincere about that. You will never meet a group of people who are more excited to teach you about a game than tabletop RPG players.
Yeah.
Are you a veteran? You won't be bored either. Each year, Go Play has a wide selection of games on offer that span all different genres, so there's definitely something that's going to pique your interest. Sign up for games opens Saturday the 9th, so that's already passed. So check it out on Facebook at Play Brisbane or on their website, www.goplaybrisbane.com.au.
Pretty cool. They usually have a couple of the board games devs from Brisbane there showing off some new titles and whatnot too, so good chance to give some feedback to some other local devs.
And that was at the end of the month, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
It's going to be a
end of the month.
stacked weekend for Brisbane game lovers.
There are
Yes.
so many things happening in August.
So much is happening.
So much.
Yeah.
Alright, that's it. this week in gaming news.
Now it's gaming olds.
Let's gaming olds. It really, you know what? One of the reasons I'm so excited about tonight's episode is it is the first night of Radiothon.
Yeah.
Which is
Gasp.
effectively Christmas, as far as I'm concerned. Radiothon is our biggest subscriber drive for the year. It is also a celebration of everything 4ZZZ, and it's extra special this year because 4ZZZ is turning 50 years old. And we could not have been on air since 1975 without subscribers. Potential subscribers such as yourselves who might be tuning in, long-time subscribers, people who subscribe every now and again. We really can't do it without you.
No.
So
Very much appreciated.
feel free to head over to 4ZZZ.org.au to subscribe now. There are some really, really awesome prizes that you can go into the draw for.
Want to support independent community radio but want something a little extra in return? Well, do I have some good news for you? Subscribe during Radiothon and you get to choose to enter on the draw for one of our amazing prizes. Head to 4ZZZ.org.au/Radiothon so you can decide which prize you will choose when you subscribe.
You're listening to Zed Games. My name is Zahra, and with me in the studio this episode is Caroline, Peter, and Natalia. That was an assortment of sounds. But you know what? It is actually time for a review.
Yeah, got a review. Yeah, I haven't done this before. This is crazy. We got to do a little rap, and I got a little rap review.
Hey, yeah.
Review.
Hey.
Yeah.
Natalia, you have a review for us.
Not only do I have a review, I've brought a baker's dozen of reviews.
Oh my god!
That's right. I am not just talking about 12 games. I am also talking about a console today. Ooh. So that's what I'll start out with. Have any of you guys heard about the PlayDate before?
Yes.
Yes.
I have.
Well,
But
yeah, if anyone,
I'm gonna pretend. I don't know. I don't know what a playdate is.
you in the audience, you right there in front of me.
Me, yes.
The PlayDate is essentially a little handheld console. It's very beautiful yellow color. It's developed by Panic, the publishers of Untitled Goose Game,
It's like banana.
Despelode, Banana Yellow, Zed Banana Yellow.
Zed banana yellow.
And when you look at it first, it has a D-pad, a B, and an A button, menu button, blah, blah, blah. But it also has a little mechanical crank that you pull out of the side, and you can use it as... It's a very unique input device. A lot of people...
How delightful.
It is so much fun.
But it doesn't power the playdate, does
That
it?
is-
It's a control.
It's a controller.
thing.
It's like a thumbstick. You're not going to twist the thumbstick to charge your controller.
Maybe we should.
Yet.
Yeah.
Yet.
Anyway, I digress. A lot of people do look at this and say, oh, it's just a Game Boy with a crank, right? And while there are some emulation efforts, it's really trying to be like its own thing. It's very reminiscent of Pico 8, if you've heard of that, which is a virtual fantasy console that is trying to emulate, I guess, the technical, visual and audio limitations of like consoles from the late 80s.
Yeah.
To create, very small, focused, arcadey kind of experiences. And so the PlayDate takes that idea and manifests it into a beautiful little brick you can hold around, you can bring around. It really is, how do I say it? I can't really do justice talking about it here, but it has a gorgeous, like, black and white screen. It's a custom OLED thing with a very small resolution, but it only does one bit. It's either on or off, and it almost looks like e-ink. It's very inspired by WarioWare. No, not WarioWare, sorry. The Game & Watch. It's like how it has like a cutout thing and like the background kind of moves.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like in motion. It is, pictures online don't really do it justice. The thing about this machine that is really cool to me is how different its focus is compared to a lot of other machines. We've reached a point where there is no kind of technical, you can make anything you want pretty much at this point, and we've got computers enough to run it. And so to have this machine that has an enthusiast core of people who care about making the pure, like the art form of games, I guess.
Yeah.
It does really open up.
It's a bit of a love letter.
It is a love letter to games, and it really has re-sparked my passion for games. It's got a growing... The thing that also is really cool about it is that it's really easy to make games for it. I have never made a game before, but like jumping into like the API and like the thing, you can... There is so many different options ranging from like a very surface level like RPG Maker kind of system to like the nitty gritty C# kind of thing. And so there is a vibrant scene of developers who a lot of them first time game makers who just want the best for it. Which is, I don't know, it's every console is a dev kit. And it makes game making really accessible. Already there's been a lot of developers such as like Bennett Foddy, Kaida Takahashi, who did Katamari Damacy, which we spoke about earlier. I forgot the name of the developer that did Papers, Please. And it's shown all these developers, which, I don't know, it's very exciting to see cool games because this crank really isn't a gimmick. It is a really cool dedicated device where you can either use it as like, some games use it as like a 360 rotation, some of them are like you go fishing, whatever it is. So I guess that's the console, but a console is only as good as its games. When you first get the PlayDate, when you activate it, you get a season of games. So for 12 weeks, you get 2 games delivered to your little console. And so it kind of feels like, watching like a little episodic series and you're like, oh, I can't wait to see what's on next week.
Like
and you
Saturday morning cartoons or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. And you get to just nibble on something different.
Or go into the comic book store like after school on Friday because you got decent grades and sorry, go on.
No. That's and then your mum pats you on the head saying, good job, you did good today. Yeah. That's exactly how it feels. I think that release model is really interesting, and I think what's kind of sparked my interest in talking about it is because season 2 of the games just wrapped up, and I think this console's only 3 or 4 years old, but it really does feel like developers are starting to really grasp what this console is and what it can do. And so overall, this console is a beautiful, beautiful thing. It feels great to hold, it feels great to play, and maybe if we want to go to a break, I can come and talk back about the games, which I'm...
Absolutely.
I almost didn't finish this review because I was too busy playing some of them.
That's so
that is understandable.
We just had a listener, George, text in saying that the PlayDate is so simple at its core, and that's what makes it so special.
Yes.
And Lucas Pope was the developer of Papers, Please.
Yes, that's the one.
Thank you.
That's the one.
But I think it's really cool how, whenever there are quite severe limitations on a console or device or on an engine, there's a lot of creativity that happens because of those limitations.
I was talking to a friend about it earlier actually, of limitations create breed creativity kind of thing, and this console is the peak of it. It also has a little microphone and it has a gyro sensor, so it's very like Mario Party Wario, where like you can get really crazy with it, which is a lot of fun.
This is going to be
gyro
like
sensor. Now I want to make a game for it that you have a spinning top that you can 3D print and actually Beyblade it.
You hold.
Don't do that to your playdates.
I don't think that's covered under the warranty.
3D print some attachments for it and Beyblade it.
It would be kind of sick though.
Yeah.
All right.
So I think that's the console. If you like games, if you're passionate about the art of games, then I think this is the console for you.
As you may have heard, this radio station you're listening to has been going for 50 years. We have 4 months worth of celebrations planned, starting with our extra special 50th birthday radiothon. So join the party and celebrate 50 years of Zed in your head. The best birthday present you can give us is subscribing to the station. Visit 4zzz.org.au and subscribe.
And Natalia's at it again with part 2.
No, the other 12
review.
reviews.
Yes.
The other 12. I mean, okay, I won't cover... Do you want to play the little music? Actually, no.
Well,
the abbreviated version. There you go. I hope you enjoyed that.
That was really good.
But what I really enjoyed was, like I mentioned, when you get the PlayDate, it comes with 24 games. But Season 2 that just finished releasing, which again was 2 games a week for 6 weeks. Like I said, I think the developers that make these games have already really started to find their stride. Like, there's more communal, like, shared libraries and stuff. Like, anyway, people are really getting the hang of it. And I think the thing I was the most impressed about was how every single one of the games that was released in this bundle uses the crank differently. There was a lot of really incredible, like, movement stuff. I'm going to start with the first game that came out, which was Fulcrum Defender by Zed Games, which you may know them from a little game they made called FTL.
Might have heard of that one.
Yeah, might have heard of that one. And yeah, it's basically like a wave-based tower defense game. The goal is to survive 30 minutes as waves of enemies come in or whatever. And with the crank, you're kind of in the middle of the screen and you're turning 360 motion with the crank to kind of like shoot them. It's very survivors-y, but you're kind of contained to this the center of the screen. And there is just something so special about the game, like with beautiful 1-bit art style. Like, it somehow manages to convey like shadows and darkness and depth and like all these like enemies coming at you in a 1-bit style, which is really cool. And the music is like such a meditative and beautiful kind of like I don't know, it gets you into the trance state, into the wave into the trance state. And when you kill enemies, they make these like little 808 drum hits, like a boom or like a boom. So it kind of feels like you're improvising along with the music as you're like getting better at the game. It also manages to somehow have a great feeling shotgun, like that kind of stuff where it's like, I don't know, it is a wonderful experience. I can't really do it justice, but it's one of those games where like it proves this is not a gimmick. Like, this is.
I feel like I need to mention to listeners just how small the PlayDate is. It is probably, if you have a smartphone at home, it is approximately half the size of your smartphone.
It's tiny.
It's a tiny little
like a slice of cheese. Smaller than a slice of cheese.
It's smaller than a slice of cheese.
With the cover, people say it looks like an ice cream sandwich.
It kind of does.
It's like a little like a flip. Well, there you go. It makes a little.
Can I bite it?
I would not recommend.
No.
I kind of would like to keep playing games.
You make it sound so delicious.
When I first saw it, I thought it was a Samsung Flip, their new foldable phone thing.
Yeah.
It looks very similar to that.
Yes. Speaking of cheese, my favorite game on this, and the one that I could not stop playing, is a game called Cacha Diablos. It's by Amos Games, who are a Mexican studio, shout out. And it's a roguelike where you play as a little guy on the moon, which is made of cheese, if you'd like. That was my segue.
Nice.
And you're on a quest to capture all of the Diablos stranded on a very distant moon. And so it's very, again, a survivor's thing where you're trying to, instead of shooting or damaging enemies with weapons, you're trying to capture them or run salt circles around them, basically, to catch them. It's very Pokemon-y in that way. And the way you run circles around them is you hold a button and then you use the crank to literally, like, you spin like the wheel around them. Have you ever been in math class and you get like the protractor and then you kind of like stand it up on the page and you just kind of like pretend to walk around like you're on stilts?
Pretend it's those Fresno Nightwalkers.
That's how it feels to play this game. And it is such, like, when I first picked it up, I'm like, this is like super clunky. I don't know how it feels. Like, but then I did the first boss fight. And it just, like, there is something so tense about, like, you can only move in, like, really stilted things, and the enemies that you catch are, like, you know, they run away from you, or they, like, run towards you, or they, like, hover around and shoot projectiles at you, and the only thing you can do is be a protractor. And, yeah, it does feel like you're catching them as you, like, spin the wheel frantically, like the little crank to move back and forth.
Oh, my God.
Very cool game. And my favorite part, maybe, is how as you capture these throughout your runs, you start to fill out like a Pokedex, basically, full of all of these enemies. And first you get their title, then you get this beautiful like hand-drawn portrait, like almost like crayon scribbles of like these the characters, and then you get the bio, except it's all in a different like alien language. And so you have to manually try and decipher like the alphabet and assign which letter is to what based on like, I don't know, it feels like you're an anthropologist kind of digging through these like crates to learn more about these enemies in a way that's just like so, I don't know, it tickles, as a linguistic nerd, I guess, it tickles my fancy very greatly. Another game that really makes use of the crank as a movement thing is a game called Long Poppy by Indiana Jonas. You
Excellent
basically
name.
It is a great name. You essentially play as this little dog whose owner, like the owner had a different dog that died, and it's very implied that it's because of the owner's fault. And he basically tries to play catch with you, but throwing it in like very dangerous situations, right? And the way you move around, you're essentially like a slinky jack-in-a-box, where like you press the button and then you like wind out the thing and you like kind of shoot in the direction that you're aiming with.
I'm imagining there's like wacky hand, like those slinky hands that sort of just like use. That's the sound effect I'm trying to use. Where you just sort of slap it out and it like sticks onto something.
Oh, the sticky hands?
Yeah, sticky hands.
Yeah.
It kind of like that. And as you go around the level eating food, right, you get slightly longer. And so it's kind of like a collectathon-y, like you have a timer limit to try and, in order to reach the ball, you usually have to eat a lot of food to get really long. And so you're just progressively like becoming slinkier and slinkier and like throwing it further. It's such a silly game, beautiful animation style. And and then when you hit the timer, it becomes like a spelunky ghost chase, like the dead ghost of the owner's past chases you around and tries to steal the ball from you. Anyway, it is a really, really fun game.
I think we've got time for like one more.
Okay, I'll keep it quick. Tario and Como is a game that I played last night. I lost my PlayDate for 3 weeks, so I'm very excited to have it back. But it's essentially a physics-based platformer where you play as this girl named Tario who's looking for her sister, Como, who has been essentially kidnapped by these like slimy goat people. I don't know how to describe it. Slimy goat people. But you are disabled and you are missing a leg. And so you have to rely on this medical bot that kind of like, follows you around and provides aid throughout your day. But when your sister gets kidnapped by the slime monster, you also get taken by the medical company. And it's very much like an allegorical kind of, it's critiquing the American healthcare system. It's critiquing kind of like, more so an insight into how people with disabilities live, similar to How to a T earlier this year. Another Takahashi game explored living with disability through gameplay mechanics and stuff like that. It is a game with surprisingly a lot to say, and I haven't finished it yet, but it is just so earnest and funny and gives you a perspective that I would have never thought coming out of like, a little thing. It's not just a fun game with a very impressive physics simulation and a great grappling hook that you kind of control, crank up and down to wind up the grappling hook, but it's also a game that really marries its narrative with its gameplay in a way that's just really touching, and it feels like a special game. I could rant on for ages, but
it really could be its own its own episode.
I'll be here after the show just for another 2 hours talking to myself.
No, but that is beautiful. That is beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Natalia. There. Not a lot of other doodads out there like the PlayDate. The way that it has sort of like seasons is really fun to me.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
There's always something new to nibble on.
Awesome. Which means that is the end of your review.
I hope that was something. Yeah, having fun on my PlayDate.
It's
mate.
not cheese.
It's not cheese, so please don't eat it.
Unless you're really hungry.
So hungry right now.
While we all think about what cheese the moon is made out of.
For 50 years, 4ZZZ has been making people-powered radio. Everyone on air and behind the scenes are volunteers and do so much to keep the station running. Like me, right now, talking to you. We also rely on you, the people in our community who listen and subscribe to help keep us making people-powered radio. So please head to 4ZZZ.org.au and subscribe.
You're listening to Zed Games. My name is Zahra, and with me in the studio this episode is Natalia, Peter, and Caroline.
Ooh.
Why do you always do this? While you're just dying on your sins, we're going to be going into another review.
Yo!
I'm excited about this one.
What color are your knuckles?
Mine are definitely white.
Beige?
Red.
Pasty.
All right.
Cream cheese.
White Knuckle is a first-person speed climbing survival roguelite where persistence, inventory management, and cool reflexes are essential in order to make any progress. The design of the game reflects the graphics of games from the early 2000s, that crunchy, lo-fi, low polygon style of 3D with textures that feels gritty to look at. The aim of the game is simple: climb and survive. There is a tutorial, which I highly recommend you complete, which teaches you how to climb, how to conserve and utilize momentum, and quickly navigate your inventory, and how to use tools to create a pathway where there wasn't one before. And immediately, the tone of the game feels very much like the scary parts of Half-Life. You complete the tutorial, or your training as the game calls it, and when you open up the campaign, you find yourself in the bottom of a seemingly endless silo, in a simple instruction: climb now. And I started to climb, my movement awkward and janky. I clambered up simple handholds, carefully crossed a bar, and I climbed to the top of the silo, the first silo, and I fumbled my last jump out of the first silo, and I fell. And I realized that some sort of liquid was starting to fill the silo. I climbed back up, and I realized the top of the silo had sealed shut, trapping me in with that rising water. That's my first death, and I learnt two things. There's poison death water, and it will rise, and if I don't clear the silo quickly, it will seal shut on me, sometimes through me. That was my 7th death. I managed to clear the first silo after a couple of tries, my confidence with the controls improving with each run. I got a little further each time, overall becoming better at the game. And then I would panic and fumble my inventory management, pulling out an anchor when I needed the hammer. There goes the 200 meters I fought to reach. Now I needed to try again. Each time I fell or was consumed by death water or ended up discovering that I'm not alone in here, I breathed in, exhaled, and tried again. I'd hear something ominously large and I'd want to freeze, but you can't just pause mid-climb, your hands get tired. You have to manage the stamina of your hands, which are largely independent of each other. If you hang off one, it will get tired, so you have to keep climbing, and you cannot climb forever. You can see a little bit ahead of you, and you can hear a bit further than that, so planning your route is important. You can create additional supports, anchors, and even throw rebar like spears, but you simply cannot take long. You cannot take your time. You must keep climbing. It's yet another pressure that challenges you to keep your cool and not panic. And it's easy to become flustered or frustrated. But with every 50 meters I clear, I get just a little bit better. With each time that the game jump scares me with alerting me to my improved climbing pace, heart racing, I feel more determined to find that sense of flow and keep to it. Sometimes I'd miss my grip for a second and fall, just hoping I'd grab anything and managing to catch myself before losing too much progress. And I can't even steady myself from it. I just have to keep climbing. The setting of this facility is intriguing. You seem to be thousands of meters below ground in the depths of these silos, vent structures. There is some sort of robotic voice calling out warnings about rising hazards and the oxygen being compromised. It seems to be aware of your presence. There are radios scattered around the environment and little collectibles that are either nothing or a snippet of lore for this world. There are also augmentations lying around that will improve your condition. Why is all this here? Why am I here? The sound design just absolutely ties it all together. The robotic voice that makes you jump with its sharpness, or the tone of the voice is blankly informative. The design of the levels have a bit of a pattern, but the levels actually change with each run, keeping you on your toes. You feel isolated, but it's scarier to know when you're not alone, with who knows what ahead of you, and certain death behind you. The music is just the right tone for this sort of game. White Knuckle delivers what it promises, to have me on the edge of my seat, holding in my breath as I sized up a jump while rewarding me with the satisfaction of knowing I am getting better and better at the game, my movement becoming more fluid and confident. It is spooky, unnerving, and delightfully nostalgic, but it's also challenging and difficult, and frustrating all the time. And it makes for a really, really satisfying experience. And that is White Knuckle.
I looked it up and I saw a scary face.
Yes, there's scary things in the game, and you're trying to avoid some of the scary things. And it does get you every single time because I get into the flow of the climb. I'm like focused on it. I'm feeling good, and then and I'm like, okay, all right, this is fine.
It sounded a little like Portal. I'm doing science.
Yeah, but it's also just it looks great. It feels great. It's really satisfying. It's just really difficult and also scary.
I got my heart racing a little from just hearing you describe it.
And that's it takes about 8 hours to finish the game. I've not quite finished it, and that's a skill issue, strictly a skill issue, not a fear issue. But it's really satisfying. I highly recommend giving it a try.
Sounds it. For those that are challenge based,
I will try it until a scary thing jumps at me, and then I'll probably quit it and hide.
That's all right.
By covers.
That's all right. And speaking of quitting and hiding, we're actually coming up to the end of the episode.
Aww.
I know.
Didn't say we're quitting or hiding though.
Well,
we will be back.
We will be back.
And
We'll be
in
back
greater
next
numbers.
week.
You can find me under the table.
Yeah, or in the walls, or even on the airwaves. But listeners, I just wanted to remind you all that tomorrow or at midnight tonight, Radiothon kicks off.
We're all prepped for a midnight launch.
And it's really, really quite special. The station is turning 50 years old this year,
50.
and we can't have made it. We can't have lost it since 1975 without listeners like yourselves, without people supporting us, without volunteers like us, and without subscribers like you. So from all of us to all of you, have a good night. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I love you.
We love you.
We love you.
Especially you.
Especially you.
Happy golden anniversary, everyone.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to Zed Games.
If you'd like to listen to more, you can find us on the Community Radio Plus app.
Or find us on socials at ZED Games AU.
See you next time.